Hey.
For those of you just joining our podcast, thanks for tuning in. And for everyone who is coming back to listen another time, thank you. We appreciate you. Welcome.
Welcome, welcome. And guys, if you are loving what Nancy and I are putting together, if you feel the vibe, if you like the flow, make sure you're telling your friends about us. Go on to the streaming platforms, give us 5 stars, baby, and a review, and help us get ourselves leveled up where more people can see us and get a hold of the content. This is one of the most fun things that Nancy and I get to do as spiritual beings and putting out there. So we want to share it with the world.
Absolutely. And we appreciate you. We got a good topic today, I think, Tara.
I think so too. I feel like this is going to be one of those things that there's a lot of opinions on, right?
Yep.
In the spiritual community, there is a lot of people that really step into the mindset of the work that we do. So being a spiritualist has a lot of different aspects to it. And one of the things right now that is a really big, and I love the word fad because things fall in and out of fashion, in the spiritual world, in the metaphysical world. And right now, affirmations are all the rage.
Oh, 100%. 100%. So let's tell the listeners a little bit about someone you stumbled across and what he had to say that really confused me, that we had to write it down.
Okay, so I was on TikTok, and for those of you that follow me on TikTok, spiritual TikTok, I also have a private account where I do a lot of like kind of following maybe gym people and dogs, love the donkeys, right? And so I was on there and this guy came across my feed. Now I do follow him. I'm not sure for how much longer, but I do follow him, so I get his stuff. And he is actually what I would call a gym bro. He's someone who is trying to influence people with his aspect of how to really gain a good body, good mindset, etc., etc. Now, of course, he said the word affirmation and it got my attention right away. And before we even go into what he said, Nan, I want to say this. I truly believe in affirmations. I believe that when we think a certain way about a certain situation, we are putting the right energy out there to ensure that situation is coming to fruition or will
100%.
come to, right?
The energy gives it power and it helps it become.
So a lot of the work that I do when I'm doing my higher power stuff with individuals is set in affirmations, daily affirmations. I'm not super into daily card pulls, right? I'm not super into that. I don't want to be told what to do,
Mhm.
right? Because I got all that ability right here, baby. But setting myself up for success by being like, I am empowered. I am purposeful. Those are things that I can get behind. Okay.
What I will suggest to people sometimes is don't read the book. Like, I totally think a daily card pull can be a great affirmation. Pull the card, look at it, get your darn journal out, and write about what it means to you. At the end of the day, go back and reflect on it.
That's not my thing. Like I'm like when people start doing that whole card thing, I feel like they kind of get sucked into that, oh, this is the card for me for today. I think if you're a beginner who's really looking to get into your intuition, that is a fab thing to do. But not become dependent on it. You do not
Oh,
need to pull a card every day to see how your day is going to be. You need to make that day, baby. You need to slay that day. So I feel like that, get that journal out and take a look at that and see what it means to you, but you have to be able to create without having to rely on anything else. It's like the people that come to us, Nan, for like consistent readings. Well, I'll just book another session with Tara. I was like, but you're not doing the work yourself, right?
agreed. And the card thing is completely separate aside from what we're about to talk about with these affirmations, because this literally, folks listening, is about doing the work.
Absolutely. And I think that he was trying to, and we'll get into this in a second, but I think he was trying to get around that, but I feel like he missed the mark with this. So this is what I have to read this. This is
Okay.
what this gentleman said. You
Okay.
don't become confident by shouting a bunch of affirmations in the mirror. You actually become confident by having a stack of undeniable proof that you are who you say you are. And then he says at the end of that, outwork your self-doubt. So hard stop.
The outwork yourself doubt because he's talking about being a fitness buff and he's saying go
Like, this is the thing, like, let's just take it piece by piece. You don't become confident by shouting a bunch of affirmations in the mirror. I feel like that's a really harsh way of looking at people trying to empower themselves. Start
100%.
looking in the mirror and saying these things. I get what he's saying in the end. I mean, for me, you've got to have action to what you're putting out there. So you can say in the mirror all day long, Nan, I am empowered, I am empowered. But if you are not doing the work to be empowered, then he's not wrong. You're just shouting things into the mirror. You have to have action. An affirmation can actually be a call to action.
So we've talked about there's an organization called Hay House, and they have a lot of really good books and decks and stuff that they put out. And I downloaded one book and I loved it. It was called Mirror Work. I think it was Louise Hay that did it. And you can darn well empower yourself by talking to yourself in the mirror. The way you're looking in your eyes, you're looking in your soul when you're looking into the mirror. And I really feel, especially if you're lacking confidence, when you're having this intimate conversation with yourself in the mirror and you're talking yourself up with positive affirmations, you are looking at yourself and you're empowering yourself. And yes, okay, the do the work is the second part of this. But I think that was pretty harsh comment just to say you don't get there. I feel it's a great starting point by looking in the mirror and just being okay with who you see and talking kindly to yourself, talking powerfully to yourself how you would to your best friend.
Well, the more you do that, it's like retraining your brain.
Yeah,
Right? Like you're saying, I am powerful. I am powerful. Well, eventually you're going to go out there and do something that's empowering,
exactly.
right? You're going to start bringing that energy to fruition and make it happen.
Mhm.
People always talk about make sure you say that not I will, but I have, not,
Yeah,
I will do, I am.
exactly.
It's all about the wording because words are powerful and spirit hears universe energy hears those words and they're like, okay, yeah, you are, baby. Here's the tools that you can use to go forward. So I feel because he's not necessarily coming from the same space that you and I are, which is spirituality, which is metaphysical empowerment. He's coming from a place of like, so I don't know if this is his quote or if he's claiming it, as someone else's and it's really his, but you don't become confident by shouting a bunch of affirmations in the mirror. Fuck off. Yeah, you do. For sure you do.
You absolutely do.
You do, because it's the starting point. You have to believe that you have some kind of control.
She's getting so passionate, she's choking up here.
Excuse me. Truth. Truth.
Truth.
You do become more powerful because now you're taking the time to set yourself up. You're retraining yourself. Second part of his comment, you actually become confident by having a stack of undeniable proof that you are who you say you are. But how do you go about that if you haven't set the intention?
Yeah.
If you haven't gone there and looked in the mirror and said, you might start like this. I don't like the way I look. Okay, this is always the Tara dysmorphia show for me, right?
Right.
I don't like the way I look. I don't like the way I look. So that's not empowering. That's just a statement of fact. That's an assessment and a validation.
Hmm.
Okay. And then
Hmm.
you move into that next step where you're like, I love who I am. I love who I am. But I want to really say this with my full chest, Nan. If I don't do anything about what I just validated,
Hmm.
I am lying when I say I love who I am. I have to be able to do the work
Exactly.
to truthfully say, I love who I am. So I am standing there at that mirror hurling, I love who I am. I love who I am. I love who I am. Then I have to, in my humanness, be able to say, but do you? Do you? Or are you just taking this and doing what everyone's saying? One of the biggest things that I found in the spiritual community that was the most dishonest thing being said that had the best intention behind it was that love yourself no matter what you feel. Just love yourself. Just love yourself. And
Hmm.
people would say that, "Oh, you're beautiful the way you are." Thank you. Thank you for seeing that. But I can't embody what you see.
Right.
So you are saying that to me with the utmost kindness because subconsciously you're feeling like you're giving me something that was going to make me feel better. So I have obviously expressed that I am unhappy about something, and you have come to the table, you not being you, but you
You
being
know, I know we're giving examples here, people. Yep.
right, have come to the table and said, I want to make her feel better. So I'm going to tell her that she's beautiful no matter what. Now, that individual is not wrong. They're not lying to me. What they're missing is that my human self does not see that. And sorry, my throat's going. And my human self needs to do the work to place me where I can say thank you with true, true grace in the thank you.
Hmm.
Because otherwise I'm just like, thanks.
Oh,
Do
I've heard that thanks before. Yeah. So thanks. Yeah. Don't really believe it, not buying into it.
I'm not buying into it. I don't feel it.
Yeah. And it really is about feeling it. And I think, but it does start with the affirmation part. It's just like any,
Absolutely.
you have to start with a few words in order to get to the point with the period, the question mark, the exclamation mark, whatever it is. And somewhere at the beginning of that sentence in the middle is doing the work, right? So I'm going to say the affirmation, I'm going to do the work, and then I'm going to feel the affirmation.
There it is. And this is why body, mind, and spirit is a real thing,
Yeah.
right? If we are do not fake it till you make it.
Oh my God, I had a mentor say that to me once, when I was starting to come out of the broom closet and do readings, practice readings and stuff like that. And I remember saying, well, what if spirit doesn't show up? What if I like what's gonna happen? And she said, well, you just fake it till you make it. And I went, huh, I don't know if this is a mentor I need to continue with.
Okay, that freaks me the fuck out. Like no lie, because take it away from any kind of affirmation work that you're doing,
Yeah,
but just from a development place,
it was awful.
what the fuck?
Well, she
Fake it
did get
till you
reported
make
to the
it?
Better Business Bureau, and
Well,
she's
I mean, and that's the thing, and that's again, that goes down all sorts of rabbit holes. People get these charismas, and they get this this certain flavor, and then all of a sudden, everyone's like, I can name James M. Fogg, Sylvia Brown, Teresa Caputo, all these people, and I'm not saying they're bad people, but what I'm saying is, once you start making big bucks with this, and all of a sudden there's all these people around you, true colors start flying out, please. And I know that the mentor that you're talking about, she had her moment of stardom.
crash and burn, crash and burn.
And
And
that's sad because no one wants them to crash and burn, but come on, fake it
yeah,
till you make it.
oh yeah, it was crazy. I was like, this is interesting. But getting back to the affirmation part and getting back to doing the work, if there's a true belief and an energy behind it coming from a place of goodness and grace and gratitude and intention, I firmly believe people can manifest whatever they want with having some incredible affirmations. Your mind is so powerful that it will drive the change. And if you can talk kindly to yourself and give yourself those affirmations and put it out to the universe, you got a double good thing, because you've got your mind and body falling in, and you got spirit helping you.
No lie detected. And I think people get caught up in like spirit's going to do it for me. Spirit's going to do it for me. I'm
Oh, I'm
just going to
so
put the
glad
thought
you
in and
I'm so
I'm and
glad you said
spirit
that.
and I'm just leaving this in spirit's hands. I hate that.
Nancy trigger number 2, Tara trigger number 1652. Spirit is not going to do the work for you. You can pray, you can do the affirmations, you can do all that. You have to do the work.
So, gentle reminder, friends.
And we're not lecturing, we're just passionate.
I'm lecturing. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing is that when you are putting out the energy and we say trust spirit, we are not saying give this to spirit and let them do the work for you. What we are saying is put in your confidence and your conviction that you are ready to do this work, and spirit will give you the tools. So it goes back to the affirmation. You are talking to the mirror. You are stating to the universe that you are ready for this. Even if you have the tiniest bit of trepidation, you're slightly scared, you're like, I'm not 100% sure, but I need to do something. This is what feels right for me. You're speaking that. Now the universe is listening, right? Now they're like, okay, we're feeling this. We know what to put in their space, what tools to give them so they can start really stepping into this affirmation, into this power, and they are going to start to see that things are done.
Yeah.
I'm doing a 30-day, well, 29-day. Maybe it's actually no 29-day. It's a 29-day program I threw together last minute with a group of 40 women. And it is all women, and they are all like, damn, let's do this. They are doing the actual work. Why are they doing the work? Because one, they feel supported, right? They feel supported. Two,
Yeah.
because they're ready. And three, because they're getting the tools. They are being given the tools so that they can see how to move forward. And affirmations are the key.
Part of those tools. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because a lot of times people get to step 1 and then they get so frustrated because they don't see immediate results. And so this is really about staying true to that commitment and trusting the process while you're doing the work, but allowing it to unfold with ease and grace, so that you're not just, okay, I said affirmations like 2 days in a row, and those are the tools you gave me, and now it didn't happen. Okay, well,
But it's not up to me and you. And this goes to another kind of section about fortune telling and people coming for readings over and over and over and pull a card for me and whatever. It comes back down to that because here's the thing. One, you're going to get the same message over and over. Two,
yes,
there is no such thing as a fortune teller because there is free will, choice, and personal responsibility.
yeah,
So when people talk about fate and destiny, I think those are very romantic words, baby. This was your fate. This was the destiny. But in reality, I truly believe that no, you cannot talk about free will choice, Nan, and still talk about fate and destiny
hmm,
because you have the ability to be empowered enough and to take control.
hmm,
There are always going to be things we don't have control of because someone else has control of them. So things will happen to us because it just has to happen. Is that your fate? I don't think so because I don't believe. Well, okay, erase. Is that your destinies? This is just ultimately meant to be what happens. I don't know because we all get to make choices. What if you walked out the door and turned left?
exactly.
So there are things that happen just because they happen, but you can control to the best of your ability what you bring to your plate.
100%.
But you must always remember that there are other things in play. Let's talk relationship for a second. The love of my life. Where am I going to get the love of my life? Is the love of my
Yeah.
life going to come? The answer to that is absolutely. What are you doing to make that happen?
I remember doing a reading during COVID, and there was someone that came to me and they wanted, to meet the love of their life. And I said, well, what are you doing to get out of the house and meet someone? Well, nothing. It's COVID. I'm stuck inside. Okay. Are you getting in online communities, any platform? Well, no. So do you think the mailman is just going to magically knock on your door and become your guy?
Yeah,
Like,
this isn't the first time that exact scenario has been spoken about.
yeah,
What are you doing to make this happen?
yeah,
And then, when people start, and I do this as well. Like this is what the spirit's telling me. 6 to 8 months, there's going to be a shift and a change.
Right.
Okay, if you ride, bitches, if you ride into that 6 to 8 months without having done a single thing and nothing happens, do not call me. Do
Right.
not get on that phone and be like, girl, you said this was going to happen, because I'm going to be like, oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. For real. I said that was going to happen. And what did you do to make that to come to fruition? Well, nothing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, then hang up the damn phone, baby, and let's start over.
And do the work.
You got to do the work. And sometimes, I have to really step back. If my mouth doesn't say it, my face definitely will. So I have to step back and I have to be like, okay, you know what? This is not what I signed up for. When my contract to spirit was, let's help as many people as we can find their paths in the best way possible. It was not, Tara, do the work for me. Nan,
Mhm.
do the work for me. And if it works, great, I'll sing your praises. And if it doesn't, then give me a call back. Nuh-uh. That's not it. So those affirmations that you are yelling in the mirror, shout, what do you say? Shouting? By shouting a bunch of affirmations in the mirror, shout them, baby, but believe in them. Do
Mic
the
drop.
work to make them happen.
Yeah.
And this whole like outwork your self-doubt, that doesn't even like give me any kind of shivers. No full body shivers here with that. That's just yeah, okay, right? You want a stack of undeniable proof that you are who you say you are? You got to start somewhere, baby. And if that's an affirmation to move you through a stage in your life, let's go. Shout it
Ab-
all day long.
Yep.
Retrain your brain.
Agreed. The brain is a powerful beast.
Powerful beast. And we only use like, what was it, 9% or something of it?
Yeah, like I think it's really small, like 9 or 13% or something.
And realistically, we are so set in sitting in our discomfort and we make it comfortable, right?
Mm-hmm.
That it's too hard to do the work.
So if you were to give one affirmation to our listeners, what would it be?
I believe in me. Any affirmation you make after that is said and done. We already know that we believe in spirit. Spirit never lets us down.
I love it. All right. On that note, listeners, we want you to write it on a sticky note and put it in the mirror and shout it at yourself every day.
Shout it in that mirror. I want you to tattoo it on your forehead because it is legitimately the best affirmation out there. And you can couple that with anything.
100%. Tara, as always, thank you very much. I think it's been a great session. For those of you guys listening, if you like this, please give us some thumbs up. Share this podcast with your friends and family. Make sure you're giving us those thumbs up and stars. It gets us to the top when people are searching podcasts for spirituality. And as always, thanks for listening. And we hope you tune in for the next one. It's going to be a good one. It's about listener questions.
And you know what, guys? Send us your words, comments. Let us know what you're feeling with this. I know that some people are like, "Hey, are you going to make it longer?" And we're like, maybe if enough people are interested. So make sure you let us know what you're thinking about us, not just the stars. The stars are going to do wonders for us, but we want to know. This is how we get our listener questions. We want to know what's going on. And make sure you check out all our platforms. Nancy Christine Brady on everything. Spirit Essence by Tara Diana on everything. Find us. There's different content all over there. And Nancy and I have a secret that in the next few episodes, we're going to start to kind of give you hints about what we have planned for our podcast. And we love
Yep.
that.
Something special in the works.
So you got to stay tuned. Bye.
Bye.